I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 million every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 billion every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire. I wanna be a billionaire. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny VEGAZ. Now today, I have a very special guest on my show. This man is an assistant editor at Warner Brothers. He's also the content creator for Martin Lawrence. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Jackson.
Thank you.
How you doing, brother?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. How does it feel to be in front of the camera this time?
I'm still getting used to it. So sorry if I mess up.
It's all right, brother. You can't mess up. You're telling your story, man. That's cool, man. Well, I'm glad you finally made it to the show. I know we had tried to schedule things, but we finally made it happen. You know, on a Saturday. I typically don't work on a Saturday, but for this man, I did. You know what I'm saying? No doubt, brother. So yeah, so pretty much, man. I just want to get to know you a little bit, get to know your story, and you know where you're trying to take your business from, where it came from, and the plans for the future. But let's start from the beginning, man. Where you originally from?
I'm from San Diego. My whole family's actually from Brooklyn, New York.
Hey,
They all came out San Diego. I was born. Raised all my life till I went to college.
Oh, okay. So you never actually been to New York or lived in New York?
No, I think longest I've been there was probably for a month.
Oh, okay.
Go out there all the time, but I feel like it's my second home.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, I was originally born in the Bronx.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I lived there for about, I think, 14 years.
So what are you, Puerto Rican or Dominican?
Dominicano.
Puerto Rican, right?
I know. I saw the tag in your car. I was gonna ask you. Habla español?
Poquito.
Un poquito.
Spanglish.
Okay. Hey, whatever works to get the point across. Nah, that's cool, man. I like to hear that, bro. So tell me, before you got into the video work and the editing work, you know, what was your passion in the beginning? Like when you first had a dream and wanted to pursue that?
It's always been video since 8th grade.
Really?
Since 8th grade, I remember in middle school, one day I walked into class, my teacher said she was sick. She was like, I can't teach anything, so she brought a VCR and TV. All of a sudden she popped a movie and it was Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. I think it was 1966.
Yeah, with Tom Hanks.
No, The Birds is, I believe generally, I'm spacing out right now. It's basically that old black and white movie about a set of birds that attack a village in a place called Bodega Bay, which is in Northern California.
Right.
So fast forward about an hour and 45 minutes in, none of the class was watching. I mean, eighth graders try to watch a black and white movie. Second it was done, I walked out saying right then and there, that's what I'm going to do. I need to be in movies, that was it. I went home, told my mom, and she's like, all right. That's what you're gonna do. From that moment on, that's exactly what my goal was.
That's awesome, man. So tell me, what was from that point? What was your first project that you did?
Actually, I would say I used to love wrestling.
Okay,
that was the whole thing. I mean, since 1983.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but they would do like the little vignette videos and all this stuff whenever wrestlers would come out or before little promos.
Who was your favorite wrestler?
Triple H.
Okay, Shawn Michaels.
Oh, there you go. DX, same thing.
Yeah.
But basically, I would take a VCR, I would hook it up to my TV with a video camera, and I would take that and get all the footage from every single week into my computer at the time. I was using, I think, Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
And I would
that's how I started.
There you go. I would create little promos for it. I would make a weekly promo every single week, just for fun, just trying to copy what I saw, just because that's what I had a passion for. And so I would consider that my first project.
Got it.
Basically editing my own stuff, taking their footage.
So being that we didn't have outlets like social media back then, how did you actually get people to see it, or is it something you just did for practice?
Honestly, most of it was just for my fun. I would show my family, and some of them would come around and sit and just watch it, I mean, it wasn't the best stuff in the world, but they would entertain me and let me show it, but it was just for fun. I had a passion for it, and that's all I wanted to do.
That's cool, man. It's crazy. I actually started with Windows Movie Maker.
Really?
Also, self-teaching myself.
It's
and
free.
And once I learned what all the functions did, I kind of just added my style to it and just made it cool. And then that's when I was like, okay, it's time to graduate.
It's all about making your own.
Exactly. So, what was your first like paid gig for filming? Do you remember that far back?
I think my first paid was a wedding.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a friend in San Diego who started a photography business, and he was like, somebody wants to do video. I was like, let me try it. So I did it. Wasn't the best thing in the world. Like, I don't even know if they actually liked the video, but it got me out there and got to see what I needed to do to get paid.
Got it.
And so I think that was my first paid one.
Let me guess. First camera was a Sony Handycam.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
mine too. Mine
my
too.
first one, yeah. Yeah, geez, I think I still have it too.
I think I got it too. I actually went to my mother's house in Florida, and she keeps all my stuff in like this room or whatever. Yeah. And I seen it, and the footage was still in there. Like it never got deleted. Like I filmed a bunch of shit. I was just going through the motions, looking at all those memories. But yeah, that Sony Handycam comes in handy,
I haven't thought
bro.
about that in so long too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like probably this big, this long. I think from there I went to the Canon HV20, which was the very first like handheld camera, one of the first to do 24 frames a second.
Okay.
And so it gave it like that film look.
Right.
And so I think that's ever since then. That's when I try to up my game basically.
Gotcha, man. Okay. So did you actually further your education in video production?
I did, yeah. I'm of the mindset that I don't think you need to go to school for film. It's not something that like you can learn most of it hands-on.
Right. Especially now you got YouTube.
Exactly. But for me, education was something that wasn't big in our family. And my mom pushed that. She's like, "You're going to be the first one to go to school."
Okay.
So it was never an option.
Way to go, Mom.
Right? It was never an option as to if I would go. I mean, I took like a couple years off to work because we couldn't afford school for me. So I took some time off after high school, worked my way. Saved enough, went to community college, and then went to film school at Cal State Long Beach.
And you graduated?
I did, yeah. I was
awesome.
I think I was the first one in my family to graduate college.
Congratulations, man.
So that was a big thing for me. Again, you don't have to go, but it was something that got me a network of people to talk to. It got me used to using equipment and concepts in theory, which I do think plays a part in my stuff. So, yeah.
That's cool, man. I actually attended the Art Institute and the International Academy of Design Technology for video production.
Went to Art Institute.
Yeah, but I didn't finish because I guess the way their curriculum is set up, it's like 6 months of electives first, and then you get into the video stuff. And I was like, I didn't.
That was basically how I went to community college, so it was basically free because we didn't have enough money to pay, so I was able to get grants. So they were able to provide enough money so I could do my lower general education, transfer to Cal State Long Beach, and then for 2 years straight, just everything film.
Okay, well that's what's up. To each his own. Yeah, for me, man, I was like, yo, I'm not trying to do algebra again, English, none of that. So I ended up dropping out, and I went to this show. It was when T.I. was about to go to jail. He did a little tour.
I went to that tour.
Okay, well, this one was in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
And he had a show, and then Busta Rhymes came out. They was doing their thing, and I'm just watching. I'm like, yo, somebody need to be filming this. Like, and then I chose to take that as my opportunity, my epiphany. So I bought the Sony Handycam, and I was a club promoter at the time. So I was just like, yo, came in with the camera this time.
You can always bring it in there.
Yeah, and I had the access, so I just started filming shows. And that's how I got my name up. Then I started getting with the local artists and then charging them for videos, and then just started building my archive, networking, and practicing and getting paid, and then that's what was the birth of my company. So
it's funny you say that with the clubs because actually a friend of mine, his son started DJing and ended up getting into like some like it was like those 18 and up clubs at the time.
Right.
Ended up helping him with one gig. And then ended up getting asked by another DJ to start filming them. So I started getting in a little club area in San Diego. Ended up filming a DJ, I can't remember his original name. He ended up being a DJ called OK.
Okay.
It's spelled O-O-K-A-Y. So I remember filming him, he was like 17 years old at the time. Now he's playing Coachella, EDC.
Wow.
And he signed to, I think it's Diplo's record label. I could be wrong. I haven't seen him in a while, but I started doing the clubs too. I think I ended up getting to film Drake.
Oh, wow.
In San Diego the same way.
Damn, that's cool, man. It sounds like you helped birth DJ OK's career, man. It sounds like you're entitled to 10%.
He's so good.
No, I'm just kidding, man. No, that's cool as hell. Yeah, man. Those were real fun times, you know. But as I, gone through the process and, edited videos and photos through the club phase, I realized it's not what I wanted to do because, ultimately the man hours it takes to edit footage and do all that, it's just not worth the little $250 I was getting, $300. So that's when I decided to solely do weddings and music videos because they pay the most. And although I enjoy editing and filming and stuff, I want to be compensated accordingly for my time.
And you gotta have fun with it. Like it's no fun if you can't mentally be in a space where you're happy doing it. It doesn't make it fun no matter how much you're being paid.
Right.
At least for me.
No, same. Have you ever been in a position where, you weren't having fun editing because of a situation like that where it just wasn't worth it, but you already got the money for the gig and stuff?
I'd honestly probably, and I know you do weddings, but for me it would be the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just because, I don't know if I just like doing things that are my own or that I like creating projects, but the wedding for me it was somebody else's vision. I think that the bride had her own vision of what she wanted, and the groom had his own vision, and it wasn't me. And I know some people can take their own style and make it theirs in a wedding video, but mentally I couldn't get there. So for me, it was a job.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, I mean, it's not for everyone, you know.
It's not, and I give so much respect to the people who do it because it's hard.
Yeah.
Because just like my Martin stuff, I don't have a second take, and you can't ask a bride to do something repeatedly. You can't ask her to walk down the aisle a second time, so it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I bet, man. Well, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. So tell me, how did you get your job with Warner Brothers?
Actually, that was fairly recent. I mean, the old saying goes, "It's who you know in Hollywood," and I think that's what happened with me. Where a coworker of mine had just started at my last job,
right?
And she was brand new from Alabama, and I ended up training her.
Okay.
And so, fast forward a year after that, she left because she ended up getting a job with Warner Brothers. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I get a call saying, "Hey, would you like to come over?" So basically, it was just that bridge that she was able to vouch for me and say, "He's this good. He knows what he knows what he's doing," and they hired me. And I've been there ever since.
That's awesome, man. So okay, so you're an assistant editor. So someone's the head editor. So okay, so what do you do at that point? You kind of just take the jobs that he doesn't have time to take, or you kind of like assist him?
We do everything around his editing or
Okay.
their editing, so that they don't have to worry about anything else. So if we get footage in, we'll make sure that it's in their project and organized and labeled as they need it, so they can sit down and start just editing away. We get out their files, we deliver the files. We'll actually take jobs that they can't do. So if they're too busy, we'll be able to cut things ourselves.
Gotcha.
As well as a lot of the graphics. Like I do a lot of the graphics work in our department. So if you see social media pieces for Pikachu or the Detective Pikachu movie, all those graphics that are on there are mine.
Wow.
As far as like the little text that pops up when they talk and all, like that's us.
Awesome, man.
We also get to edit social media pieces as well, which I've done in the past.
Gotcha.
So it's just whatever we can do to step in and help.
Where do you want to take this career? You know, because I'm sure. I mean, do you want to step into the filmmaking world and actually be a head editor at one point? You know, whether for you for yourself. Well, I'm sure you're doing that for yourself, but for like a Warner Brothers and stuff like that.
I do. Yeah, it's a job that's really hard to move into because it's, especially being union now, it's a whole different ballgame. People stay in that job in fact, most of the editors at my job have been there for 17 plus years.
So when you say union, that's SAG? Or for the
Local 700.
And that's solely for video producers?
That's I know there's a couple different groups. I think it's like editors, I think some type of like cameraman, some other groups.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with, but yeah, it consists of editors, assistant editors, audio recorders, everything. So we're our own union. And because of that, like I said, a lot of people don't like to leave because the benefits are so high.
Right.
So to move up to editor, you have to have that spot there. Sometimes you just have to wait it out. I know a guy that was there, took 10 years for him to become an editor.
Wow.
But I'm confident in what I can do. I'm confident in my skills, so it's just a matter of when. I'm ready to step in.
So what are the requirements you have to meet in order to be a part of the union?
It's actually, there's a whole list of a certain amount of hours. So you have to do a certain amount of non-union hours and non-union work to be eligible to join. So for example, I work, again, mainly in creative marketing for theatrical films. So I had to have edited a certain amount of pieces. I have to have done a certain amount of days, a certain amount of hours in a row, and then get that signed off, and then I'm eligible to join. Plus you pay a fee.
Right. Okay. Now, do they consider your own projects to be the hours, or it has to be like working for like an establishment like Warner Brothers and putting your time in like that?
It depends on what category. So for me, the only project that did work was for my own was Martin's Doing Time concert film that he did.
Okay.
That ended up being on Showtime. So at the beginning of that piece, there's a mini documentary that's like 12 minutes long. That was me. I shot and edited that.
Right.
And so that, because it was shown on television, is allowing me to be eligible.
Congratulations.
So that was another job. Thank you. That was one of the fondest projects I've ever done. I mean, to see one of your pieces get on Showtime, like, not a lot of people get to do that. So.
I know, man. I mean, that's like a dream come true. I'm trying to get mine on Netflix now.
I love that too.
Yeah, hopefully this ends up on Netflix one day. You know, that's the goal, man.
Yeah.
So speaking of Martin, how did that introduction happen, and then trickle down into you actually working with him?
It actually, so his assistant has been friends with my mom since I was about 13 years old.
Okay.
So a long time. I'm 32 now.
Okay.
He's known for years what I want to do. He knows that I went to film school. We know Martin's brother as well, who's a producer on all his films. He helped get Martin into Hollywood as well, or at least was with him for along that ride.
What's his name?
Robert Lawrence.
Robert Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you always see a guy all behind the scenes giving Martin a hug, the second he gets to the stadium, his brother's there to give him a hug. It's such a close family, it's unbelievable.
That's awesome, man.
He keeps his family so close, they support him. It's all a family.
Right.
But basically, they knew of me. So from 13 up until about 5 years ago, nothing. I was never able to go anywhere with them. I went to one of Martin's tours as a kid, like just a show to watch. But they don't bring anybody that they're not completely
comfortable with
that can do the job. And I get it. I mean, he's at a certain level that he needs perfection. So one night, randomly, I get a call saying, hey, Martin's going to be at the Comedy Store. We're getting ready for a tour. Could you come out and record the audio for his show? That's it. He's like, we just need someone to record the audio. So I was like, sure. I ended up getting off work early because I'm like, I'm not going to miss this chance.
Right, of course not.
Go home, throw all my bag, my gear in my bag. Ended up recording the audio, but what I did is I set my camera up on the side. And so what I did is I recorded the whole show visually, and ended up cutting a little piece together. I basically filmed the whole show and cut a version of the show visually with multiple camera angles. I put the crowd in, some like other titles and all that stuff, and showed it to him. So I was like, not only here's the audio, but here's this is what I can do.
Right.
And so didn't hear anything for another week. All of a sudden I get another call, same day the following week, and was like, hey, can you do that again? But can you do the video this time? Martin loved it. So I was like, all right, did it again. This time I just upped it. All of a sudden I bring 2 cameras, and I do more, and I add music to it. Again, nothing until the day before. Can you do it again? Did the whole thing over again in the previous 2 weeks. This time I'm doing more behind the scenes. I show him walking in. I show him standing there getting in the mindset. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're like, hey, would you want to come on tour with us? So I was like, I would never have believed it. Because again, even though I have that connection, it doesn't mean that wasn't an easy end. Like I had to basically prove that I can do something and bring something of value. And the rest is history from there.
Do you see, that's what I love though, because you took one opportunity and made the most of it by creating another opportunity, just solely being hired for the audio, but doing the video on your own, and then showcasing that, and then doing that multiple times to the point where you got hired to do it.
I was like, why not? What's the worst that can happen? They could just not like it.
You had nothing to lose, man. And the fact that you realized that is what I admire, you know what I'm saying? Having that entrepreneurial mindset, you know, to like take matters into your own hands, and you secured the bag, you know what I'm saying? So that's awesome, man. So how is tour life, you know, with Martin? Well, first of all, how is it working with Martin?
Oh man, it's a dream come true. Like I still to this day remember early '90s sitting at home with my mom and watching his show. Like I mean, we watch everything from House Party to his stand up. He's so crazy. She took me to see Run Tell That 2-3 times in theaters. Like I would have never in my life dreamed that one day I'd get to work with him. Because of the fact that I watch him so much.
Wow. Did you tell him that you went to his show as a kid and all that stuff?
I kind of mentioned it here and there.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure he hears that all the time. So, but yeah, it's the type of thing that it's mind blowing to me. I still can't believe it, and I still kind of get butterflies every single time there's a show, or every time I see him. I'm just like, wow, like that's somebody I looked up to.
So do you solely only meet him during business terms, or do you guys actually chill?
No, I mean, I think what helps me stay in that position is that I keep that as work and everything's separate. So I'll see him in between things if I visit his office for whatever reason. But I don't pretend to be more in than I am, and I think that's what they appreciate. Because I know that in the past I've had people that have kind of felt that they're more closer than
Got too comfortable.
They got too comfortable, and I think that's a huge key. Is that I never put in my head that he's a celebrity. I never put in my head that I'm friends with this celebrity. I'm just like, this is a job that they bring me in to do, and I do it.
That's awesome, man. You keep it very professional. That's good. It's obviously working for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, so back to tour life. How is tour life? Because I know, you have a family, right?
My girlfriend, my mom, yeah.
Oh, your girl and your mom, but just being away from them and obviously explaining to your girl, like, look, babe, I gotta go on the road for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, how is that balancing, your personal life with work on tour?
It's difficult. Off camera, we had the same conversation about the fact that I would work my assistant editor job Monday through Friday. I would take Friday night, go on a red eye, fly to whatever city we're having the show in, film for the whole weekend, come back Monday morning, do it all over again for months on end. So it's not like I'm out of town every single day, but there's no time for a personal life, and it can be hard. Like I know mentally, there's times where I'm just like, I don't know if I can take it, but in the end, I'm going to do what I want to do. Like I can't complain.
Right.
I do complain.
Yeah.
But there's no reason I should.
Right.
Because of the opportunity that I'm getting.
Not complaining, you're venting.
Exactly. Not only am I working at a high level company, but then I'm getting to do something on my own. That's what I want to do with somebody who's amazing. So
yeah,
it's all worth it. You just kind of push through it.
How is that conversation explaining to your girl, yo, listen, I gotta go do this, I mean, is it difficult, you find?
No, she's actually one of the most understanding people.
That's cool.
Outside of my mom that I've ever met. She's actually a producer at Universal.
Oh, okay, so she understands the business, she's in it.
She understands it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had to cancel on her weekly. In fact, yesterday we were supposed to meet up and have dinner with my mom, and I had some text. I was like, hey, I'm going to be a couple hours late. Out of nowhere, with no notice, anything. All right. Like, because she knows that's what it is.
Right.
So same thing with Martin. I think she gets that it's something that I want to do, and she's very understanding of it.
That's cool, man. But I'm sure you're making it up to her tonight, right? Yeah, take out, man. Take out. Do something nice for her, man. That's cool, bro. So tell me, where do you see your company in the next 5 years? Or you as a content creator?
Honestly, it's more of just doing what I want. It's not. I mean, I don't really have a set number of projects I want to do, and I guess it sounds bad. Like I don't have a 5-year plan. But I know I would love to move into the documentary side. I love documenting Martin's life because it's something that not a lot of people know.
Okay.
He's a very private person. He grew up in the limelight, so I feel like nowadays his life is his own, understandably. But he has so many stories to tell and a life that not a lot of people know. So I would love to be able to showcase more of that. And that's what I try with each video that I do. But I would love to do a long form one, like a full-on hour-and-a-half documentary. So that's where I feel like I would love to move towards.
Have you spoken to him about doing his documentary?
I have, and to an extent, like I said, for the Showtime one, that was a mini version of that. That actually came out of nowhere. Like I had been doing all the social media videos, and they were like, "Hey, put something together." So I wasn't shooting with the purpose of a documentary, if that makes sense.
Right.
So now I would love to be able to do that.
Gotcha. And you think you've accumulated enough footage to just kind of piece what you got together and call it the documentary?
I want to get more.
More? Okay.
Yeah. Like, again, without giving too many details on his life, which I don't like to do.
Yeah, you don't have
on my own. But there's a lot that I would love for people to see how he is. Because not everything's jokes and laughter. Like, he's a family man. Like, seeing him with his family is amazing. And just, he's a regular guy. He'll play basketball.
Yeah.
He'll watch basketball, just sit around, watch TV. Like, it's a lot that people don't know, and I want to show that.
That's cool, man. Well, I wish you much success with that, because the documentary space is big right now, especially like those platforms, they're buying those documentaries, you know what I'm saying?
There's not a lot of stuff on black comedians either. I don't have black myself, so it's like that side is just as important. And I know like they have a Richard Pryor movie coming out. There's a documentary on Chris Rock that was pretty popular on Netflix, but Martin's up there. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people credit him with opening the door for them. Like Tracy Morgan has said that Martin's responsible for his success. Yeah, and Dave Chappelle said he's just as important to him. So I would love to show that Martin's somebody who's opened the gates for a lot of people. And I feel like he doesn't think he deserves that credit. Like he's extremely humble.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to show that he is somebody.
That's what's up. Yeah, he's a king, man. You know, so you gotta be treated as such. But as you said, he's humble, so he's just
extremely.
He's chilling. He's good, man. Just give me that Bad Boys 3 check, and we gonna be alright.
I can't wait for that movie. I can't wait. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I just love to see artists from my era still doing it. It just adds more fuel to my fire, you know what I'm saying? Because I had that dream from when that era began. So, you know, and I'm just kind of scratching the surface in my career, but it's like
step by step.
Hungry, man. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome, man. Is there any like video producers or directors work that you admire and aspire to be like or better than?
I want to be better than everybody.
That's what I'm talking about.
And not in a cocky way, but to a certain extent, you have to be confident in what you can do. Not to say that my stuff is the greatest, but I want to be the greatest. And that's my own personal goal. But whether or not you achieve it, something else. But I like having that goal. It gives you something to reach for. There's a really big name, I feel like on YouTube, a guy named Jacob Owens.
Okay.
I love his work. He does a lot of hip hop music videos.
Okay.
He's a really gritty style. I feel like he's not really following a lot of the trends on YouTube. You don't see the swoosh transitions and the zooms and all that. You know, a lot of his stuff is handheld, not using a gimbal. Amazing work. There's a lot of people I follow, but I try not to copy their own because
you want your own style.
To me, so many people on YouTube just all the exact same. You could put them side by side, and they're all the same. So
right.
Try to stay on my own side.
No, that's cool. That's great, man. I actually came up looking up to you know, like Hype Williams, Little X. You know, now you got Ava. I always mispronounce her last name. DuVernay, something like that. I think she did Drake's "Nice for What" video. I believe she did that. And yeah, man.
I believe that. I think she came up under Director X, if I'm not mistaken.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know her
I
history.
recently about that.
Yeah, I just saw her name on the credits, but she's really dope, you know. And who else, man? There's a whole lot more. Oh, I love Omar, the director. He's actually a good friend of mine from Florida. Yeah, okay. He shot one of my videos because I'm a musician also. So he's really good, really talented. But yeah, man, you know, again, I look at their styles, you know, and kind of absorb it and make it my own, you know, because again, you don't want to seem like a copycat. Yeah. You just want to notice what's the popping trends out there. So that's like the bar for me.
That's the bar to set.
Now that's cool, man. So where can the people like hire you for your services and stuff like that? Come in contact with you? Do you even have time?
Honestly, a lot. I mean, my schedule is usually so booked up. I mean, I feel like the only place I even put. I'm not a huge social media person. That's the funny thing. So much of what I do is for social media, but I mean, I'm 32. Like, I didn't grow up in a time where you're posting your life everywhere. Right. So I post stuff once in a while, but it's like. People can reach me on that on Instagram, but it's at I'm Andrew Jackson, just my name. But it's hard to find the time to actually do other things. But,
well, that's good, man. Being busy is a blessing.
Yeah, especially if it's not worth it.
Right.
Like, to me, you have to set a certain bar, and no matter, like, I know a lot of people will just do things for the sake of doing it for the money, but you have to find the value in yourself.
Absolutely.
I mean, as much as we put into equipment, as you know, you got some really great gear. You have to be able to set a bar and make sure things are worth it. And you'll get messages saying, "Hey, can you come film this?" But it's like $100. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
it's not even paying my gas.
Exactly.
And not to sound cocky, I'm not saying that I'm worth all this money, but it's a job just like anybody else would. You want to be paid for your stuff, so I'm pretty picky.
No, same, man. I completely understand, bro. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, I'm glad you finally got to meet, Definitely. You know, came through, you know, did the podcast, got to share your story, man. And, you know, I see you doing great things, man, especially in that documentary realm. I think you should jump on that early. Even if it's not with Martin, you can do other documentaries or other things, you know, and just kill it, man. Kill it. You in the building with Warner Brothers, so they got the connects to get you where you want to go.
I hope. It's amazing there, too. It's such a great company.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, even being able to walk on the back lot, I mean, they shot films like Casablanca there, and so many big name movies that it's like I'm getting to walk where legends walk.
Right.
And that in itself is worth it. Like I'll go there for lunch and just have lunch in the back lot and walk where movies that I watched as a kid were filmed, and that's inspiring in itself.
Exactly,
So.
bro. I'm telling you, man, they'll be saying that about you one day. I
Thank
guarantee
you.
it, brother. Well, again, thank you for coming
Thank you
through
for
to the
having me. Appreciate
podcast.
it.
Likewise, brother. Thank you for tuning in to another episode, Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas, my man, Andrew Jackson. Stay tuned for more episodes to come. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
And cut. I don't got the thing, but.
Oh, dude, that's good enough.
Cut that.